Hello everyone, my name is Shirabo Julie, and next to me are my teammates Adengu Feva, Ikotot Francis, and Griffin Japheth. We are from St. Lawrence Crown City High School.
Hello everyone, this is St.Johns SS Wakitaka, the middle of Ginger City. My name is Nakaima Faith. On my left is Anembaba Sarah Patience. On my right is Kaduli Joy and Musra Andrew. We are here to debate the resolution which states that recently in the House, the Right Honorable Speaker advocated for taxing cattle so as to increase the tax base. This House will begin taxing primary products of agriculture, and we are strongly affirming the resolution of tonight.
And we are negating this resolution. The school we are versing is St.Johns, Wakitaka.
House rules. Each speaker has 5 minutes. The first and last minutes are protected. The judge will ring a bell to signal the protected time. The bell will ring continuously after 5 minutes.
Recently in the House, the Right Honorable Speaker advocated for taxing cattle so as to increase the tax base. This House will begin taxing primary products of agriculture. The table of juries, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. According to the Uganda National Bureau of Statistics, tax is a financial charge or levy imposed by the government on individuals or business in order to fund public services and projects. Primary products of agriculture are raw or unprocessed agricultural commodities that are produced by farmers and directly harvested from the land. For example, crops such as grains, fruits, vegetables, and as well as livestock products like eggs, meat, among others. Currently, primary agricultural products are generally exempt from value-added tax in order to support the agriculture sector and food security. However, the government has implemented various tax policies and consumptions to promote agricultural development and encourage investment in agriculture. Our perimeter is Uganda. Our timeline is 3 years. In the first year, we shall create awareness about the taxes and educate the farmers about the importance of taxes. In the second year, we shall make research on the different primary products and register the farmers and provide them with the taxpayer identification number. It is a unique number assigned to individual or business for tax purpose by the government. In the third year, we shall start the operation under the Uganda Revenue Authority for effectiveness. We as the government, we shall effectively collect tax from primary agricultural products through the implementation of value-added system and installation of the electronic tax collection system to make the process more effective and transparent. This will help to reduce tax evasion and increase compliance among farmers. We are going to tax according to the level of output, and remember, we are taxing to increase the tax base. According to the World Bank, agriculture contributes about 24% of Uganda's GDP and employs nearly 70% of the agricultural labor force. Additionally, agriculture plays a crucial role in providing livelihoods for the majority of Ugandans, especially in the rural areas where agriculture is the main source of revenue and sustenance. The Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development will provide us with finance to enhance our research and implementation. We have various benefits of tax, and these include it leads to increased government revenue. By taxing the primary agricultural products, the government can generate additional revenue which can be used to fund public services and infrastructure such as roads and hospitals. It also leads to economic development. The revenue generated from taxes could be reinvested in the agriculture sector, supporting the farmers with subsidies, training, programs, and infrastructure development to boost productivity and provide economic growth. It also leads to market generation. Taxing primary products could help to stabilize prices and prevent market inflation by reducing oversupply and undersupply for sustained products. It also leads to import substitution. By taxing primary products, the government can incentivize domestic production and reduce reliance on imported goods, whereby promoting self-efficiency and food security. It also leads to environmental conservation. The the government would use the tax revenue to implement environmental conservation programs, promoting sustainable agricultural products and protecting natural resources.
A bird at hand is worth two in the bush. Recently in the House, the Right Honourable Speaker advocated for taxing of cattle so as to increase the tax base. This House will begin taxing primary products of agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Affirmative come and tell us that they will increase the tax base, but they are not telling us how long they will take to tackle the matter of urgency, which is increasing the tax base. Ladies and gentlemen, agriculture is affected by changing climatic conditions which affect food production. According to Fuse.net, the whole country, Uganda, is entirely dependent on agriculture for food requirements. Ladies and gentlemen, when we impose taxes on agriculture, ladies and gentlemen, this will increase the food costs and thus food insecurity. According to www.independent.co.ug, 7 million Ugandans are evading taxes. This is why we are suggesting intensifying tax compliance as our alternative to taxing primary products of agriculture. Intensifying tax compliance will fight tax evasion. Panel, think with me. As Parliament is the lawmaking body of Uganda, we stand here as Parliament Parliament is our house, using the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development and the Uganda Revenue Authority, we shall intensify tax compliance in this country. How? In a time frame of 5 years, we are going to scrutinize and review the tax administration system in the country. Under the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, we shall carry out sensitization programs around the country through different media sources. Ladies and gentlemen, this sensitization will not only be one way, it will be from the public and from us. Dear judges, ladies and gentlemen, according to the Uganda Registration Service Bureau, only 12% of the agricultural households in Uganda have registered their farms. This is why we shall register all farmers in the country after carrying out mass sensitization under the URA. Dear ladies and gentlemen, for us to implement this, we shall do it in a time frame of 5 years. And in those 5 years, we shall also offer incentives to the taxpayers. Because according to Article 17G of the Constitution, every citizen has responsibility to pay the amount of taxes levied upon him or her willingly in a timely manner. Dear judges, ladies and gentlemen, accepted.
What is the current status about tax?
Currently, Uganda's tax to GDP ratio is 13.9%. Uganda's tax to GDP ratio is 13.9%. This is why we should not look for areas where we should not bring in new policies to affect the taxes, but rather look at what we already have. Like I said, a bird at hand is worth two in the bush. Ladies and gentlemen, if we intensify the tax compliance of our country, we shall be able to achieve the matter of urgency in this debate, which is increasing the tax compliance. Dear judges, ladies and gentlemen, we shall increase the tax compliance through registration, through sensitization, and by providing incentives to these farmers. These incentives will come as a result of their production capacity. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall simply educate the people and teach them the importance of paying taxes. And through sensitization, they will have to comply. And after registering these farmers, like I said, according to the Uganda Registration Service Bureau, only 12% of these agricultural households in Uganda have been registered. Dear ladies and gentlemen, the only way agricultural farms pay taxes is through registration. Dear ladies and gentlemen, there are farmers, where will they account for the 88% of the people who are not registered? Where are they going to get that income? Because 88% are not registered, and currently Uganda is running a deficit budget. Dear judges, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I strongly put to you that intensifying taxes is our alternative. With that, I rest my case.
This is the High School Crossfire. We'll be back in a minute.